Let's see if I can just twist it.
Let me see if I can kill my friend while he's not looking on air.
Right on. Why not destroy any hope? That's already been done. But anyway, welcome back to segment 2, IDD. For those who know, I don't disagree. It is a whistle Wednesday. That is the redoubtable one himself, one Thomas J.S.O. The highly questionable one, Ronald to the J, to the Migliaccio. Spaghetti with an M up north, Miguel Coco down south. Who knows? Who knows? Just saying.
Did you say spaghetti with an M?
Up north.
Is that what people used to say?
They couldn't pronounce anything. I gave them this. Just say spaghetti with an M.
That's great.
And they were like, what? I'm like,
spaghetti with an M.
But if you're down south, it's Miguel Coco.
RJ Migliaccio. And I'm Tommy Isuzu.
So anyway, segment 2, MLB is back.
Better known as MOLB.
Yep.
The MOLB.
This is Tom. This might be Tom's favorite night of the year.
You think so?
Yeah, this is your night. And it should be.
I mean,
it's your night. Yeah, it is. You're the baseball guy.
I know, but I prefer
the best part about this. Well, that experience in and of itself is great. But the great thing was we were off air, and he was going through the schedule for tomorrow, and he must have said, "And nobody gives a fuck." 10 out of 14 games.
No, it wasn't that many. 8
out of how many games?
I mean, I think everybody plays. Maybe not. Some people have their opening day tomorrow.
And nobody gives a fuck. Maybe somebody gives a fuck, but I don't know who it is. Anyway, we're going to start with the Mets because they actually are the one that has hope. As you know, last week they added another Red Sox champion.
J.D. Martinez.
It's amazing how that keeps happening.
DH.
These ex-Red Sox world champions just keep adding to these rosters. And if Bob Lobo, who's retired now, would say, why can't we get players like that up north whenever this would happen in the past? And Bob, to your credit, still rings true to this day.
The Mets are still a completely...
That's what I think of that.
That's what the Mets are.
No, that's the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's the Red Sox.
We'll get to them
definitely.
in a minute.
But I mean, the Mets rotation just... Okay, so in spring training, they led baseball in team ERA. So... us Mets fans start to feel giddy, but you have to realize, like, the 5 people in the rotation right now it's not big names. You know, most baseball fans wouldn't know who the Mets starting rotation is. And that's a change from the past several years, at least, because they've always had at least one stud in their rotation.
Yeah.
Even when they stunk, they had DeGrom. So... I don't know what to expect from the Mets. I mean, again, I thought their ceiling before J.D. Martinez was a wild card team. I still kind of think that's the ceiling. But I'm more hopeful, especially after getting J.D. Martinez. The Mets have been half-assing the DH since it came to the National League. You know, they had J.D. Davis hitting there, who's just kind of like one of those guys who was a real high prospect and never blossomed in Houston. So we thought he was the next fucking Alex Bregman, and he wasn't. And we finally have a DH. Problem is he's 36.
But he's a DH.
He's good.
He's good.
But you can still pull an oblique and be gone for 8 weeks. And that's just my negative.
However, that's less likely given all he has to do is hit.
Sometimes it feels like that's when it happens, when you're sitting around, especially this time of the year, and because he needs 15 days to get into game shape. JD, what the fuck were you doing, first of all? He's not starting with the team.
He was not hitting.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know where he was. Where was he?
He could be anywhere. I'm sure he was hitting. Come on. What do you need 15 days for? All you're doing is getting up and swinging. I mean, now true. He hasn't been able to be in games the way the other guys have.
Well, if he hasn't played any games.
He hasn't. Because they didn't sign him until this fucking,
So he didn't have a team?
No.
Okay.
No, he was just waiting to be signed.
Okay.
Because the Dodgers had him last year, I believe. It was a 1-year deal. He keeps getting those, 1
year, 20
those short deals, yeah. And it's like, fuck it, I'll take it.
I would too. Let's have 3 1 year $20 million deals.
Now, this year he was trying to get a couple years, I think.
Yeah.
But so he waited and waited, and all he could get was 12, which I think is a bargain.
It is. It is.
But the Mets start the season off with Milwaukee, which one interesting fact to remember there is our new president of baseball operations was the Milwaukee GM last year and for the past, I don't know how many years. He supposedly was like one of the most brightest minds in baseball. He's a Met fan since he was a kid.
Okay.
But the timing just didn't work out when he was coming up. He was originally with the Mets.
Yeah.
And Omar Minaya told them, this guy's really smart. Told ownership, we should keep him. Of course they didn't, because it was the Wilpons. And they were probably involved in some stupid Ponzi scheme, losing money or paying Bobby Bonilla. So we didn't get him, but when Cohen took over the Mets, this guy was like, he wanted to sign him as his baseball ops person or president of baseball ops, whatever. So this guy's basically running the team. There's no GM.
Okay.
He's acting as that too. So it'll be cool to see how he builds his team. And it's just, I know it's not like a big deal because he's not on the field playing against Milwaukee, but I'm sure this means something to him.
Sure.
You know. Other than that, I mean, they need to sign Pete Alonso, and hopefully Kodai Senga can get healthy, and then you never know what happens with the Mets.
No, but the thing is, they do have a puncher's chance.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely could make a wild card.
They could.
With as many wild card spots as there are now,
Look,
hang around.
This is the thing about what I love about baseball and hockey, is that just get in.
Yeah.
Just get in. If you get in, history has shown in those two sports in particular, literally anything can happen.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, the Bruins, who broke every record in the book, were up 3-1 against the 8th seed. The 8th seed came back, won 4-3, and all they did come back, they went all the way to the Cup final. 8th seed. Baseball, Arizona Diamondbacks, 84 wins. Get in by the skin of the teeth, go to the World Series.
Yeah. Because all of a sudden people start stepping up.
Just get in.
Yeah.
Just get in, and you've got as good a shot in those two sports as anybody. So, because home field doesn't mean shit, just like home ice doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. Okay? Football, home field means something. Absolutely does. The NBA, home court means something. Yes, it does. Not the other two sports. That means shit. That means shit. So, which brings me to speaking of shit.
Red Sox?
The Red Sox. It's the Red Sox until further notice. Until the owner either sells the team or gets assassinated, whatever comes first, by his own fan base, which I think may happen if they end up where I think they're going to end up.
Red Sox
the local, the shit sucks. I call him. I gave him that name.
That's your game.
It's my baby. The shit sucks. Look at every Boston Red Sox analyst has said the same thing. Their projected win total is somewhere in the low 70s. 3 of the 4 that I inquired about think it's going to be lower than 70. And that's with Alex Cora and Rafael Devers. And the closer, Henry Jansen. They have those 3 things going for them, if nothing else. Now, here's the thing. And there's 2 things that are really a factor here. Now, there's 2 ways to look at this, believe it or not, because the Red Sox starting lineup from a pitching perspective is pretty young.
Starting 5?
The first 5, at least for the first 2 weeks. So Brian Bello starts first. He is 24 years old. Okay? He's played 2 seasons. He was 2-8 as a rookie. He was 11-12 as a sophomore. So he's 14-19.
What was the ERA last year?
It was 5. I'm sorry, ERA was 4.2, down from 4.7. So he's going the right way. So
4.2's not bad.
4.2 first, going into his 3rd year. No, I'm saying
as long as he's not your number 1.
He is our number 1.
No.
As long as he's not your number. Oh,
I mean, okay, but look,
you're making my point.
Let's say this year he goes from 4.2 to 3.
Maybe he goes to 3.9. He went from 4-7 to 4-2. That's half a run.
Now, if that's your ace, but your lineup is good.
I'm saying he's only 24.
No, this is when you go, our lineup isn't good.
He's only 24. Our lineup isn't good. Our lineup's all over scale, all over the United States. Less than playing with contenders.
You can have that as your one as long as your lineup's good.
Yeah. So-
Well, there's the problem.
Then this brings us to the one guy we do know, Nick Pavetta.
Why does that sound like somebody else's name?
Last year, he went 10-9 with an ERA of just a 4.0.
That's not bad.
His career record is 50-59 with an ERA of 4.8. That's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good. Okay.
But
He should have
what he did last year wasn't bad. How many strikeouts?
This gets worse.
How many strikeouts this guy have?
I don't know.
Is it show?
It's right here. He had, how many strikeouts did he have? Does it show strikeouts?
That's so.
I'm looking, hold on. That's his whip, that's his whip, that's his whip.
What's his whip?
His Ks, here we go, Ks.
Is his whip 2?
His Ks were 183.
He's not a big time strikeout pitcher.
No, he's not. He sucks, okay? The guy sucks.
Maybe he pitches contact.
Career ERA is 4.8. He's trying to find. The silver lining is,
All right,
he sucks. Okay, our third starter.
We're going to do this with the Mets.
We can. This is the one that kills me. Cutter Crawford. 27. He's only been with the Red Sox 3 years. His career record is 9-15. His ERA is 4.7. This is our third starter. And you wonder why.
Let's see why he's
You wonder why these experts are going, I don't know if 70 might be too high.
Let's see why he's number 3.
Let's see where they're going. Okay, number 4, Garrett Whitlock. I call him Shitlock. 27 years old, 6'5", 3 years, you know. Now, this one's interesting. He actually had, this one, here's the one that I can't understand. Because he is the third starter. I'm sorry, the fourth starter.
Mm-hmm.
He is 17-11. His ERA is 3.5. He's the fourth starter. Why is he not the ace?
Well,
27, entering his prime. 17-11 solid, 3.5 solid. That's not bad. Why is he the fourth starter? Does that make any sense to you?
what year is he?
He's 27. He's in his fourth year. Bello, who's starting, is in his third year. I don't know. I don't get it. And that brings me last and certainly least. Tanner Hayek.
Oh, you guys got Hack?
Hack.
Tanner Hack.
Now it's Tanner Hack. There you go. He just got his nickname, Tanner Hack.
He used to pitch for the Nationals. He's all right.
His career record in Boston is 15-19. ERA is 3.8.
Yeah, he's all right.
So the back end, solid.
Tanner Houck, maybe?
Tanner Hack. That's their starters. Kelly Jansen returns as the closer. He's 36 years old. He had 29 saves last year with an ERA of 3.
You'll take that again.
I will.
Right, you might not get
If they didn't stink, he would have had more save
Yeah,
opportunities.
you might not get that.
His save opportunity was, I believe, around, he was 89 or 90%. So he closed. He did. But he didn't get a lot of chances because they were in the cellar. And look, this is the big problem. The division they're in.
Terrible division to be in.
It's the worst. If they were in any other division, they have a shot of finishing third. Maybe even,
The crazy part is every other team in that division has a chance to win the World Series.
Yeah,
A legit chance.
a legit chance.
The Orioles are one of the best teams in baseball.
If not the best.
And youngest.
They got better.
Oh, yeah.
They got better.
They got Corbin Burns from the Brewers.
They got better.
They're going to be really good. The Rays somehow are always good.
Pitching.
And pitching, but also position players, dude.
Yeah.
They got position players everywhere.
I mean, they
Now, a lot of them are in other places now because they didn't pay them.
The Rays' problem is always they have a reputation of folding in the postseason a lot. They have been to the World Series, but they folded more times than not. Then there's the Blue Jays, who can hit with anybody in baseball.
Well, then, actually, I take it back. I don't think the Blue Jays have a chance to win the World Series. They're still a very good team.
They made the playoffs last year.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, if the Blue Jays' question is will they ever get any pitching?
Yeah.
Because if they do, look out.
Yeah. But I see that division as
Baltimore,
Yankees,
but it's
and
Baltimore,
Rays.
Tampa Bay, then the Yankees.
Baltimore, Yankees, and Rays. Those three teams have legit shots.
Which brings us to the Yankees, who I think are going to finish fourth, honestly, because to me their pitching is not as good as any others. And they're one injury away, and every year they get injured. Every fucking year somebody goes down.
It's hard to argue with that.
I have not, until I see a year where they don't go, somebody doesn't go down as important, then I'll believe it.
But the difference is this year they do have Soto.
They do, and that
So
helps.
they're not only Judge.
No, they're not.
Last year was like Judge went down and they became like one of the worst offensive teams in the league, which was kind of crazy. But Rizzo also had like concussion issues. He didn't hit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yankees, they could be good. You're right though. Their pitching is sus.
Their pitching is suspect. And in that division, you've got to have pitching.
They signed that
So,
guy Rodon last year to a big contract, and he
didn't
gave them nothing
He gave
last
shit.
year.
He was terrible. So look, I'm not going to give you a win total, but
No, it's who knows.
I will say this: if Alex Cora somehow has this team around 500, he should win Manager of the Year. He really should.
Yeah, that won't happen.
It won't happen. But the question is, when does he throw his hands up and go "fuck you" in whatever language he speaks and and just leave? Because I wouldn't
I
want
think he
to.
speaks English.
It's one of his. I think it's his main.
Yeah, he speaks Spanish and
I
English.
think Spanish. Yeah, Beso mi colo in Spanish. He gets the fuck out of here. Kiss my ass. All right. The thing is, if I'm him, would I want to manage this team? Not the players. They're great. It's not the players' fault. But work for this front office.
Yeah, not if they won't give you the bullets.
No, and the thing is, they have somehow they still have a top 15 payroll. So
That's interesting.
that's very interesting. You're like, where the fuck is this money going? Because Devers doesn't have all of it. It's like, what the fuck?
Right, it just
And so-
they don't have a lot of names.
No,
They got Kenley Jansen, Rafael Devers.
that's it. That's really it. That's really it. Those are the
Traded
only-
Chris Sale.
those are the only two you could pick
And
out
then
of a
Alex
lineup.
Cora is the other big name.
Yeah, the manager.
And they got a big dude that plays first base.
Manager, the
I don't remember
cleanup,
his name.
cleanup hitter, and the closer. That's it. So it's hard to be optimistic in that
Yeah, in that
division. It just, I don't see it. I mean,
Dude, but the Mets are in a tough division too.
if the
With the
pitching,
Braves and the Phillies, the
the
Marlins are bad.
if the pitching, I will say this: the Red Sox have a chance to get up to a great start. They open up with Seattle, then they go to Anaheim.
Seattle's no joke.
But they're the best of the teams they're playing.
Oh, okay.
They're going, and they're beatable. They're not unbeatable.
That's true.
Red Sox could take 2 out of 3 in Seattle. They could. But the thing is, after that, it's Anaheim, and it's another shitbag team, and then they come home and they play.
Anaheim without Shohei?
Yeah, Anaheim sucked with him.
Yeah.
They sucked with him. So they're gonna be. They might be worse than the Red Sox.
Remember, like, they were a playoff team, and all of a sudden they lost, like, 10 straight. It was like, oh, forget about them. Goodbye.
They fell off that cliff. Max Kellerman used to speak. I was like, oh, there it is.
Dude, I want to do the pitching thing with the Mets that you do with the
We
Red
can do
Sox. I
that.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Go ahead, give us the rundown.
All right. Is it okay if I go there now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Mets ace, Kodai Senga. Now this is his second year. First year he only pitched 166 innings, but good for his first year.
Yeah.
He was 12-7 with a 2.98 ERA.
That's an ace. That's an ace.
Now he's starting on the DL or the IL. So that's an ace for the Mets.
The IL, the NL.
That's an ace for the Mets.
The NP, not playing
now-
not playing for whatever reason.
Now we're gonna look at their next ace, who's really their 2, Jose Quintana.
Yeah.
So last year he was 3-6 with a 3.57 ERA, but he only pitched 75 innings because I don't know, he pulled a ball muscle in spring training. We didn't see him for 3 months. I'm kidding. He pulled a I don't know what he
It's a
pulled.
ball muscle.
You know, like a scrotum muscle.
He pulled the ball muscle.
So he only played in 13 games.
He pulled the ball
Now,
muscle. in
this
week
spring
3.
he's really showed out. He's 0-2 in 5 games with a 6.19 ERA. Jose, I hope you're working on some things because, God, that's not going to cut
You're
it.
rehabbing that ball muscle.
Now, here's the X factor. Here's the X factor for the Mets.
Okay.
Luis Severino,
Sevy.
the Yankee legend. Not really legend, but, you know, the guy who's always injured on the Yankees.
Sevy! Here's the deal again.
Now, his 2023 regular season, yikes, I didn't realize it was this bad. Oh,
Boston Red Sox man?
way worse.
Worse?
For the Yankees last year, he pitched in 19 games. He was 4-8 with a 6.65 ERA. Yikes.
The term you're looking for, Tom, is stink.
It's Puey Severino, not Louis Severino, Puey Severino.
You stink!
So I don't know why I'm optimistic about him, but I am. Well,
Can't get any worse.
no, I'm sorry, Louis. I love you. But, so
Careful.
his career numbers, 54 and 37 with a 3.79 ERA.
Now, see, that's something to hang your
So
hat on.
if he can pitch to those numbers,
Yeah.
the Mets found themselves a cheap option.
Yeah. 54
Who
and
was that who
37.
barely jumped and
I
dunked?
don't know, he done. He went by Jokic. By the way, third quarter out in the Mountain West there.
Who the fuck is that?
Phoenix 63, Denver
Eubanks?
56. I don't know who it is. Great bounce pass by Durant.
Yeah, no.
Jokic
Right
with the
around
foul.
Jokic.
Yeah,
Jokic should have
foul.
let that pass out.
Can't jump. Jokic, so this is
I
the,
know, that's a good pass.
Yeah, it was a good
Boom.
pass. Yeah. He dunked on him.
No, and he screamed in Porter's face. Okay, so that is Luis Severino. So, I mean, in this spring, he pitched in 4 games. He had a 1.29 ERA. Now, that was 14 innings. So, I'm not going to get crazy, but those are good numbers.
Yeah.
All right. Their number 4, or right now their number 3 starter, because Senga's on the bench,
Yeah.
is Sean Manaea,
Uh-huh.
who last year pitched in 37 games. He was 7-6 with a 4.44 ERA. That's kind of Red Sox-ish.
Yeah. 7 and 6 is not, though.
That's true. He did have a winning record. His whip was 1.24, which is nice. So we'll see about him. He's kind of an unknown commodity. 32. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This Mets lineup is just riveting.
Yeah. So, no, this is more for me than it is for anybody else. Adrian Hauser right now is their number 4 with Senga out. No, he's a bottle of laughs. Spring training, he was 0-2 with a 5.25 ERA. Yikes.
Yes.
But,
We need to be comparing misery notes, and we
yeah. But last year he was 8-5 with a 4.12. Not horrible. Not horrible.
But not good either.
Not good.
Not horrible.
Now his career numbers, 31 and 34 with a 4 ERA. So he's one of those pitchers where some days he's going to give up 6 runs, and some days he's going to give up 4 runs. Some days you're going to win, but most days you're going to lose. So you can find a way to give up between 3 and 4.
So he's 31 and 34.
That's right. 4
So he would classify as
Jeff Fisher.
mediocre.
Jeff Fisher.
Mediocre.
He is Jeffrey Fisher.
Mediocre.
Jeffrey Fisher.
Mediocre.
Jeffrey Fisher. You got it wrong.
It does.
It goes together.
Mediocre.
Jeffrey Fisher.
Mediocre.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, now, because Kodai Senga is out, their number 5 starter is Tylor McGill. Not Tyler, Tylor.
Tylor McGill.
Tylor. I
Do I
know.
dare ask what his numbers are?
Yeah. Well, his career numbers are 17 and 16. We got another Jeff Fisher. 17 and 16 with a 4.72. Actually, that's a little worse than
That's
Fisher.
worse, but he's got a winning record.
Close to 5.
17 and 16. He pulls them out. He pulls them out somehow.
Now, last year he was 9 and 8 with a 4.7.
See, this guy falls under the classic, pulled one out of your ass.
Well, this guy
That's
falls
who he
into the
is.
classic. Every now and then he looks like a number 1.
Pulls one out of your ass.
Every now and then he looks like a number 1, and you go, "Oh man, McGill looks good."
And then he
And then he
sucks
goes,
for 5 stars.
bang, 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 bang! It's a laser show. You thought Max Scherzer came into the building, and it was the 6th inning. Now this year in spring,
What's his last name? Mendoza?
McGill, Tylor
Should
McGill.
call him Meteor Shower.
So in spring this year, he was 1 and 3 with a 3.92.
That's not. Should call him Meteor Shower, McGill. Fucking Meteor Shower. That's gonna stick.
Now, I forgot to mention.
Wait, there's more? How many starters do they have?
No more starters. I forgot to mention that Edwin Diaz is back. The trumpets.
The trumpets.
The trumpets are alive
You remember those
and
trumpets?
blowing. alive and blowing those trumpets off. Blow my house
They gotta go
down.
down and meteor shower.
Dude, yeah. Dude, but let me tell you something. I was looking on MLB.com. I was looking on MLB.com. It's amazing how many good stories there are in baseball this year. Now, first of all,
Just none of them are in Boston.
that's true. Outside of baseball, the Ohtani gambling story is riveting. I want to know what happened. I don't care
Well,
what happened. I want to know. I
The
mean,
thing about it is, with Ohtani, being that, what we don't know, because we're Americans, we live here, is that when you come over to another country and this isn't the language you speak, those interpreters are like family to them.
they're your security blanket.
Yeah, they are. So, is this as far-fetched as we originally thought? No, it's not, because this guy had access to everything. He really did.
Or he's a patsy.
He helped manage his money.
Or he's a goddamn patsy.
That could be true too. I'm not saying that Ohtani isn't here, but two prominent baseball analysts on ESPN told a very similar story today about other players in the past who come over and the relationships they had with their interpreters and such. And they're like, these guys are like, it's like the president has that one dude who's right next to him with the Liberty is moving, that dude who's got the gun and he's the one who tackles him that dude. Okay, these guys are like that to these pitchers or players when they come over. So they're very tight knit.
So you're saying it's realistic that he could have been taken by
It's
this guy?
possible. I think it's possible.
Hey,
I'm not saying
open to any conclusion.
I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm saying, given what these two people are telling me, that they would know more than I would. And again, they weren't absolving.
Who are you talking about?
The two guys on ESPN. What's their names? What?
You said, given what these two guys are telling me, as if you had like some backroom source that you have been in correspondence.
If I said their names, you'd go, oh.
No, I'm laughing because you made it sound as though you had some sort of contact in the Ohtani camp. Look, I've got my sources, and if what these two people are telling me,
that's not what I said.
I
said two prominent ESPN baseball analysts are telling a very similar tale about two different foreign players and their history with these interpreters. That's what I'm saying. But Donkey over here is, I've got my sources. My sources tell me.
I was kidding that you said that. But I forgot that you did call out the ESPN journalists.
So, again, I can't remember their... I can see their faces, but I can't remember their names.
All right, but either way, what the Dodgers did in the offseason, and this story now, I mean,
it's awful.
That's primetime TV. No, it's not awful. It's
awful for the Dodgers.
Great TV.
It's awful for the Dodgers.
I know, but I can't wait to see it unfold.
Well,
what is this new pitcher Yamamoto going to do?
Apparently, they've cut ties with this interpreter. He's fired.
Well, he should be.
He should be. If he should be. Yeah. If what he's saying is true, you can't just. You have to get evidence besides the and prove that it was him and all that. So those things
can be pretty easy since he did it through the banks.
I can listen. If you got one videotape of him going into a bank, with one of those banks.
Yeah, I mean, or the bank says, I talk to him on the phone every month.
Yeah. Well, again, his calls are recorded.
Yeah.
I use one phone recording or one video recording or one anything of him at the scene or talking, then it's over. All
right, another storyline. The Rangers, who won the championship last year, could be getting a healthy Jacob deGrom back at some point this year. Imagine that.
I've always imagined it. It just never seems to happen.
It's a big if. It's a fantasy.
It's a fantasy. This guy should know.
And
he's written one or two fantasy novels about it.
Imagine. Well, they did get to the World Series with deGrom once.
Once they did. Once the fantasy became reality. Yes.
But
Chris Sale was healthy once too, and the Red Sox won a World Series. He was never healthy again.
Now.
So.
Should have lost my train of thought.
I have Jacob deGrom.
Yeah. The other part of that is Max Scherzer is on the DL right now. Could also be in that rotation.
Oh, he went over there?
Yeah. They traded for deGrom and Scherzer last year. Well, no, they signed deGrom. They traded for Scherzer. Well,
that is potentially interesting.
Now, Texas did lose Jordan Montgomery, who signed with the Diamondbacks today. could be a good pickup for the Diamondbacks.
Well, they were in the World Series. I would say he's.
And now they got a pitcher
I
on the
would
World
say
Series winning team.
I would say he's an upgrade.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would make them a little bit more dangerous. Yeah.
And what prompted this off-air baseball conversation, which I don't think we touched on, going back to the Dodgers, is that Mookie Betts is playing shortstop for the Dodgers. So the Red Sox could have Devers and Betts in the infield. Wow.
Could have.
Yowzes.
Could have.
And Bogart's at second.
And Martinez batting cleanup. Or DH.
Yikes.
Yeah, yowza. Then they'd have been a contender. Oh wait, they had that team together. They won the World Series. Holy shit.
So again, this is on MLB News. Another cool thing, I didn't realize they were doing this, but a special game is being played in Birmingham, Alabama as part of the Juneteenth festivities.
It's all right.
I don't think there's been an MLB game ever played. It must be at like the former home of the Birmingham Black Barons. Professional team, the first professional team that Willie Mays played for. I'm assuming that was in the Negro Leagues. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing the Field of Dreams game.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's neat.
So like this game kind of being in
That's a good
Birmingham,
touch.
it's probably a smaller stadium.
That is one that baseball got right, along with the wild card. Baseball's done some good things recently, and that's one of them. Yeah, I like that.
And then I forgot, London.
Yeah, they're in London.
2 series in London. So the Cardinals, the Cardinals and the Cubs played last year. Mets and Phillies in London.
No, that could be interesting.
Kind of sucks that takes those games away from the Mets and Phillies fans, but still cool.
I'll tell you what, if you want to grow the sport, that's a rivalry. Yeah, you got to put rivalry games over when you do this because the rivalries make the sport.
Yeah, but you also want teams that people will decide to root for. I'm going to be a Mets fan. I'm going to be a Phillies fan.
I mean, those are 2 big markets, and it's a good idea. It really is. So I get it. Anyway, is that it with the Mets for now?
Yes. Yeah, I was just going through the national stories.
We give the Mets, I'd say probably 35% chance, 40% chance, maybe a wild card. 40%, I think it's about right. 40.
I like that.
We give the Red Sox 0 chance of winning 75 games, maybe even 70. And this is no discredit to Alex Cora. He's playing with an empty deck. It's not his fault. So he better not be the fall guy for this because he had nothing to do with it. He really had nothing to do with it. Devers spoke out. I'm glad he did, but it fell on deaf ears. So, John Henry, if this goes where I think it's going, do the world a favor, sell the fucking team.
Who's this?
I don't know. Is that the
Creek?
Might be. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, that's going to be for 7-2. Segment 3 coming back. Giggle, smoke, guarantee, and 2 cents with Connie coming right up.
Yeah, we're doing another segment.
It's going to be quick.